Hello there! Today I want to share another ride with you on my Surly Bridge Club, my More is More bike. And after introducing this bike to you some days ago, I want to now show you a bit how I ride it. So I want to do multiple videos about this bike, and the first one is just an occasional Sunday afternoon ride. My other plans are showing you my whole workway from home to my office on the Surly, and also do some longer tours in the future, but probably not right now in the middle of the winter. Yeah, and middle of the winter was also the motivation to do this ride, because I don't know how it is for you, but for me, I definitely feel it in my mood currently, with it's getting dark very early in the afternoon and there's rarely any sunlight during daytime. Often it's just clouded, and I definitely notice that does something to my mood. But there are a few things that help against this, that help to cope with this. One thing is meeting friends and family and doing something together. So doing a board games night or going out, for example, on the Christmas market. But I recommend to go there when it's not too crowded, otherwise I feel like it's so overwhelming. Or in general, just taking a walk with friends, and this helps definitely. And the other thing is exercise, sports, moving, do something, whether that's some sports where you need a lot of power, like weightlifting or calisthenics, or that's some cardio, like jogging, swimming, or cycling. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do this day. Despite the cold and clouded and grey weather, I just wanted to get out, get moving, get off the sofa and ride around. So where I'm going today is Grosshesselohe Brücke again. I've shown this to you in another video. And from there I want to go back to Munich on the other side of the Isar and also have some nice gravel. So I think the Surly Bridge Club, I described it in another video, it's probably not the most efficient bike to do little tours like this, with all its weight and all its features and all its durability, with the roll-off and things like this, the rags. But still, it's so nice to ride it around. The big Schwalbe Marathon efficiency tires and also my old tires, they have super low rolling resistance. So I feel like even though this bike weighs a lot, it's definitely not slow. I try to include my GoPro GPS data about my speed, and you can see that it's roughly 23 kilometers per hour. My bicycle computer was not still not working. I have to fix it soon, but I think it was actually a bit more than 23 kilometers per hour. Maybe this GPS data is not too accurate. Leave me a comment if you like, if you have also experience with the GoPro GPS data on speed and whether you think it's accurate. Then there's another point I want to mention again. So somebody asked me about the Rohloff Speedhub and about it losing oil. So maybe I want to mention it here again. I'm very happy with the Speedhub, and I like how you can downshift at the traffic lights, so many gears, and then just quickly accelerate. But after the first oil change, which I had done at the bicycle shop, where I also bought it, I had the problem that it was losing oil on the axle and on the external shifting box, which also threatened to go on the disc, on the brake disc. Yeah, and this is just a pain because this hub costs more than 1,000 euros itself, and you don't want something like this to happen. There was oftentimes there were oil drops on the floor. In some occasions I even messed up a pair of my favorite white shoes, the German army trainers, which was really annoying because I just lightly touched the external shifting box while getting down the kickstand. Yeah, I now do my oil changes myself, and Rohloff has put down, or has divided in half, the recommended amount of new oil you insert into the hub, and the problem is a bit better now. So I feel like the hub doesn't lose so much oil now anymore, and I will look at this or look into this and observe it, and might turn the Rohloff in the future to the manufacturer. They offer to check the hub if it's leaking, but I mean, I don't want to do this. I don't want to hand in my rear wheel for I don't know how many weeks. It's a lot of hassle, and I don't want to have this for a still very new hub, which was so expensive. And I also didn't like do a world tour with it yet. I have, I think, 7,000 kilometers on it so far. Yeah, and that's not a point where I want to turn this in already. Yeah, so this is the Grosshesselohe Brücke again, where my girlfriend and I were in the other video about the less is more bike. And it's roughly 25 to 30 meters above the Isar. So there's also a quite steep descent here now to go down on the other side, where there are also some little, I think it's for the water to be dispersed, and that's why you can't shred down here with 40 kilometers per hour, unfortunately, as you can see. Yeah, but anyway, really happy about the strong brakes, and now we are down, and I can go here on some gravel finally. And this is where I really wanted to put some pace on. I think I was roughly doing 28 to 29 kilometers per hour on average. Again, I'm not so sure whether the GoPro is accurate, but I think it's a bit faster. It's really nice to go here by the Isar, but again, I feel like this weather makes everything just like look so grey and colorless. What is the weather like where you are from right now? Is it also that cold and colorless? And how do you cope with that? Would be really interesting to know, and please share in the comments if you like. So here on this paths like this, I think the bike is so much fun because the wide tires like take away all bumps, and I can go so fast. It's so much fun. I'm a big fan of 27.5-inch tires. I think they're not only for smaller people. I think they're a sweet spot between 29-inch and 26-inch wheels. So I'm leaving out 28-inch wheels here because on this bike I, from the beginning, wanted wider tires. So that puts 28-inch wheels out of the game. Yeah, and 27.5-inch wheels are a bit more stable than 28-inch wheels, and the bike doesn't become that big and long. I mean, don't get me wrong, long chainstays and a longer wheelbase can make a bike way more comfortable. But especially when touring or traveling and taking the trains, using elevators, sometimes every centimeter matters. And then if the bike is not too long, that can definitely help. But for example, I would say the Surly Bridge Club's wheelbase could also be 1 or 2 centimeters longer. Wouldn't hurt too much. And then there are bikes like the Lovely Bikes by Rivendell bicycles, where some models have really long chainstays and wheelbase. So these might be super comfortable, but I think also tend to get really long with 29-inch wheels especially. Both approaches have their pros and cons, I would say. But no matter the chainstay length, 27.5-inch wheels are at a sweet spot in my opinion. They feel responsive and rapid. Maybe it doesn't keep the speed so well, or it's not so as fast as a 29-inch bike, but I feel like the acceleration is so nice and so rapid, especially in combination with the Speedhub and its shifting options. In the end, it might sound a bit like pseudoscience about bikes, but it's just my feeling about the Surly and the 27.5-inch wheels. Now we're going beside the Munich Zoo, and as you can see, the banana kicks in here as I'm trying to maintain again 26-27 kilometers per hour. Yeah, this is also a nice area here. It's called Flaucher, where in the warmer season, during the warmer season, a lot of people just chill out here by the Isar on the rocks. So that's the riverbed is full of little rocks and stones where you can sort of also lie down on with some blanket maybe. So here you can see it, and it's so nice during summer. Makes me miss the warmer season even more. But I mean, it is what it is, right? Also have to cope with the cold and dark season somehow. Yeah, so again, that's why I'm heading now to the calisthenics park, where I also was in my bike light check video with the Brompton in the dark. And there I want to do some pull-ups. I am not a big fan of gyms. It's always too cramped for me, and I also don't want to go in the bloody early morning. So yeah, I just try to do some exercise for my muscles and my back outdoors from time to time. And it's really nice that Munich has so many of these small calisthenics parks. So this here is roughly 3 kilometers from my home, I think. So that's bearable to go there sometimes. Bridge Club is waiting for me while I'm doing my exercise. Okay, I think I just gotta confess now. I hate this weather and season. It's just so annoying and colorless. I would love to hear the opinion of some people from the UK, because I think you tend to also have a lot of weather like this where it's grey and rainy. How do you cope with it? Do you think that we Germans are we are overthinking it or getting too emotional about it? I would really like to know. Yeah, perfect train timing again, apparently. Yeah, and as you can see here, I just enjoy having these wide tires and being able to just go where I want with this bike. Maybe in the swamp I would still get stuck, but like the grass is no problem with the wide tires. I think the pressure could even be lowered a bit more. It's 2 bars now on front and rear tire, and they're recommended for 1.8 to 3.7 bars, so I can even go as low as 1.8 bars. Yeah, super nice. Abandoned beer again, of course. And now approaching Auheidhausen, so we will come to an end. So with this last little sprint here, I want to thank you for watching, and also please subscribe if you would like to stay up to date, and leave a comment if you like. Again, as I pointed out in the middle of the video, how do you cope with grey and cold weather and the light only being there for some hours every day? Do you also do sports outdoors, or do you go indoors? I would like to know. So, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.